26 years old, medical student, devoted father. John Edward Jones had everything to live for, but John had a passion that pulled him away from textbooks and into the earth's darkest corners. Spelunking, cave exploration. The rush of squeezing through passages where few humans had ever been. John wasn't reckless. He'd explored caves across Utah for years without incident, but there was one cave that had caught his attention. Nutty Putty, known as Utah's most popular beginner cave, supposedly safe, supposedly manageable. What most people didn't know was Nutty Putty's dark history of near disasters. November 24th, 2009, Thanksgiving week. John planned a family caving adventure, his brother Josh, his father, cousins, a bonding trip to explore the cave together. Inside Nutty Putty lay a maze of passages, some safe, others deadly. The most dangerous was called Ed's Push, a narrow downward-angled passage that trapped bodies like a vice. John thought he was heading toward the safe birth canal passage. He was wrong. That single wrong turn would transform a family adventure into Utah's most haunting rescue attempt. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. As we discussed, John Jones had conquered Nutty Putty Cave before. But on this November evening, familiarity would become his deadliest enemy. John's target was Ed's Push, a challenging but manageable passage he'd navigated successfully in the past. But in the maze-like darkness of Nutty Putty, one wrong turn would seal his fate forever. Instead of Ed's Push, John crawled headfirst into an unmapped nightmare called the birth canal. The passage started at 18 inches wide, tight but manageable for an experienced caver. John squeezed forward on his stomach, arms extended ahead, following what he believed was a familiar route. But with each foot of progress, the birth canal narrowed. 17 inches, 16, 15. The walls pressed against his shoulders. The ceiling scraped his back. Still, John pushed deeper. Then came the moment that would haunt rescue teams forever. John tried to turn around. His shoulders jammed against the walls, his hips locked in place. The birth canal had become his prison. Above him, his brother Josh heard the first desperate calls for help echoing through the darkness. Josh crawled to the birth canal entrance, reaching desperately toward his trapped brother below. But John was wedged 10 feet down, upside down, in a space barely wider than his body. What began as a routine cave exploration had become a fight for survival that would test every rescue technique known to man. As John's cries for help echoed through Nutty Putty's chambers, word spread to the surface like wildfire. Within hours, the most massive cave rescue in Utah history was underway. 137 rescue workers from 16 different agencies descended on the remote cave. But John wasn't just trapped. He was suspended upside down, 150 feet below ground. Blood pooled in his brain. Every breath became a monumental effort against gravity itself. The rescue teams faced an engineering nightmare no training had prepared them for. They anchored massive pulley systems to the cave walls, threading ropes through impossible angles. Hour after agonizing hour, they pulled with everything they had. Then 20 hours into the ordeal, something miraculous happened. They moved him 12 precious inches toward freedom. For one brief, shining moment, John Jones might actually make it home. Then the anchor bolt snapped. The sudden failure sent John sliding even deeper into the crevice. 27 hours of heroic effort had made everything infinitely worse. 27 hours had passed since John first became trapped in that hellish passage. Medical experts began delivering warnings that would chill every rescuer to the bone. Being suspended upside down for this long was causing catastrophic damage to John's body. His heart was struggling against gravity. His lungs were filling with fluid. Every minute John remained in that position brought him closer to organ failure. The rescue team faced an impossible choice that would haunt them forever. Continue the dangerous rescue and risk killing him in the attempt, or stop trying and watch John Edward Jones slowly die before their eyes. Through the rescuers, John spoke his final words to his wife Emily. He told her he loved her. He spoke about their unborn daughter. He promised Emily everything would be okay, even knowing it wouldn't be. At 8:28 p.m. on November 25, 2009, the rescue was officially called off. John Edward Jones died, trapped upside down in the cave that had become his tomb. As we covered in the previous chapter, rescuers made the unbearable decision to leave John in the cave. But what happened next would seal Nutty Putty's fate forever. On November 29, 2009, officials made an unprecedented decision. Nutty Putty Cave would be permanently sealed with concrete. John Edward Jones would remain forever entombed in the passage that claimed his life. The cave had become his final resting place. Emily Jones, John's 24-year-old widow, was left to raise their 13-month-old daughter Elizabeth alone. Her world had collapsed in 27 hours. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the caving community nationwide. Cave rescue protocols were immediately reviewed and overhauled. New safety measures were implemented. Better communication systems, improved rescue techniques, stricter access controls for dangerous caves. A bronze memorial plaque was placed at the sealed entrance. It reads simply, John Edward Jones, died November 25, 2009. But John's legacy extends beyond tragedy. His story became a catalyst for cave safety education worldwide. 15 years later, Nutty Putty remains sealed. The concrete has weathered, but it holds firm against time and the elements. Debates continue in the caving community. Some argue that dangerous caves should remain accessible. Others point to John's fate as proof that some risks are too great. Emily eventually remarried and found happiness again, but she has never forgotten the 26-year-old medical student who loved exploring dark places. John